Thank you so much for watching and tuning into my channel. If you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Christina and I like to talk about sewing and selling them at markets. So without further ado, I wanted to go ahead and talk about setting up your booth on a budget. When I first started doing markets, I had this big grandeur idea of what I wanted my booth to be, and then I realized I did not have big grandeur professional booth money. I learned very quickly that you don't have to break the bank to set up a nice booth. So there's 4 things that I did to make sure I had a nice polished booth on a budget. And today I'm going to share those with you. So I wanted to show you guys mock setup. I have a market this weekend, so what better time? So this is the decided layout because the market I'm going to be at this weekend, I typically like the Z shape because I feel like it gives me more room. But here, as you can see, I have to make myself a gap so I can fit through. So the first thing I'm going to do is set my base. And by setting my base, I do that with cloth tablecloths. These are tablecloths that I prefer. I got these from Amazon, and then this is from Hobby Lobby. So the way I saved money on my banner is I got some remnant fabric and just cut out my logo on the Cricut. So this is how I set my base. I make sure I have a neutral tablecloth or a standard color, so all the eyes are on the intention of my product. I have a black and white theme going. It really helps when I need to pivot for decorating for the holidays. So after I set my base, I go ahead and add height and elevation. So the way I add height and elevation on a budget is I get these boards from Hobby Lobby. They're $22 now, but every other week they're 30% off. And then I just boost them up with some Dollar Tree baskets or some risers. With this board, my husband was working on a project and then he just didn't really like how it turned out. So I actually took it and now it is one of my risers. So I added height and elevation to my booth. As you can see, I made sure I prioritized my end caps because I think it's just important to make sure I draw my customer. I got the idea from Sew at Peace. She is a YouTuber I follow who also sews, and she has a shelf that she puts her boxy bags on that kind of just draws the customer in. So I really like that idea. I have 2 shelves. This is my smaller one I got from Burlington. And then I have bigger one I got from Facebook Marketplace. The one from Facebook Marketplace I got for 30 bucks. And then this one from Burlington was 40. So this is adding height and elevation to my booth. The next thing is to organize and contain. And this is where I'm actually just going to bring my products out and start putting them down, because part of my organizing and containing is putting all my products in a certain place together. I have a lot of sewers that come to my booth, and I thought that this was a great way to use scrap fabric. I bought these containers. I think they're cookie containers, but I thought you could put clips in here and then pins up here. So I made a little pin cushion. And for the people who sew and stop by, I got them a little something that they could also buy. So last but not least, you're at the finishing touches now. You've set your base, you added height and elevation, and you organize and contain. Now it's the finishing touches and add greenery. It makes your table look more polished. I don't always add greenery, but I definitely make sure I add greenery at my bigger shows or my longer shows. At this part now, you could add decor, and I make sure I add decor that complements my product and doesn't take the attention away. So one of the things I do is I'll do like a glass light bulb with twinkle lights in it. It's a really pretty way to set the mood without taking away from my products and without my customer wanting to buy that instead. Another thing is a smell. Last fall, I was selling simmer jars and they had a really nice fall smell to them. A lot of customers were coming in to sell it and I actually sold out of them. I will release a video about the simmer jars and the non-sewing things that you could sell at craft shows. But the simmer jars brought in a lot of people alone because of their smell. And I feel like it also just added to the experience of shopping in my booth. I really try to go for a boutique feel. Another thing that really elevated my booth, and you could take it or leave it because this is not a budget thing, but it's a budget thing if you have one laying around the house. I had a rug I wasn't using. It was a washable rug, and I just feel like it brought my booth to like 10 new levels. I definitely recommend a washable rug because that thing will get dirty with all the foot traffic, which you want. You don't want a clean rug because it means that no one stopped by your booth. Again, I don't always bring out the rug for all my shows. I bring it for my longer shows. One thing I'd like to share with you is my checkout stand. It's this cute little suitcase I got from Beals. I see them a lot at Home Goods. And I think that if you got a medium size, it's about $30. This I got from Beals for $15. And I actually could carry it. And inside is everything I need to check out my customer. This is where I keep my card reader as well. If you guys want a separate video on how I built this, please let me know and I will make you one. And I just noticed I have a stamp on my hand. So I went to a fair today to kind of scope out if it's a market I want to do next year. It had a really high entrance fee. So with those, I like to go tour them first and then I'll go the following year just to make sure it's my market. I just really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching my channel and all the support. I greatly appreciate it. I am overwhelmed with the love and the positive response from you guys. So thank you. Next week, I will be doing a market prep video because I am prepping for a market and I am going to have not one, but two new stems. As you can, I think one of them's back there is the fanny pack. I made myself a fanny pack and I decided it was so cute that I think other people would like it. We're going to test it. I also did two things of tablet holders. I have a two-tone and then I have one with a bow. So these are my first two that I've tried. I was inspired by a viewer, Sharon. She had talked about how tablet holders would probably sell. So I actually think that I'm going to add a button. I thought it was just such a great idea that she said. She said she added a vintage button on hers. And I got these really cute buttons from Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. So I might add those on. Right now I'm just using the magnetic clasp. We shall see. So these are still in the works. My next video will have more detail, how I made them, how I price them, and then anything else I do for vendor prep. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys sitting through, watching it, all the support. I'm just overwhelmed with the love and support I've gotten from all of you guys. And thank you so much. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.